In this segment, we're going to show you the capabilities of our system to print on both sides of material, to create double-sided labels just like the one we're showing you in this example. To get started, we are going to remove the old setup that we had for one-sided labels. To do this, we need to pull the material out from the cutter stacker unit. Open the printhead assembly using the green latch and rewind a little bit of foil. Then, pull the material out from the back of the printer. Now it's time to take a look at some of the components that we're going to be using. We have a roll of double-face bridal satin with a 3-inch core, which is the one we're going to be using for double-sided printing. We also need an empty foil core that we'll be using on the take-up roller on your printer, and also a brand new roll of thermal foil. Move your 3-inch core adapter to the left and load the roll of material using your clip that will keep it from falling off. Pull the end of the material and pass it through the guide rods. Then pass it through the slot on the rear of your printer. Every time that you pass material through the guide rods, make sure you adjust the side guides as well to minimize shifting of the material to the sides. Loosen the thumb screw underneath the splice detector assembly and slide it to the left or any place where the material is going to be passing and lock it in place. Insert the material through the splice detector, making sure that it passes underneath the rod and that the flap is in the detect position. Now we need to pass the material through the tensioning bar. Lift the tensioning bar with your hand, insert the tape, and pull the end through the other side straight and firmly. In this case, when you pass the material through the printhead assembly, it is really important that you pass it underneath the rod and that you adjust the side guides to keep the material from shifting to the sides as well. Make sure you pull enough material out of the printhead assembly to thread through the rest of the turn bar assembly. Pass the material through the first rod on the front of the turn bar assembly. Make it half a twist and then pass it through the idlers on the turn bars. After you pass the material through the idlers, then go ahead and pass it underneath the second rod on the turn bar assembly and pull the material up straight. When you pull the material up straight, make sure that you pass the material over the top on the third rod on the turn bar assembly, as well as passing it underneath the roller on the micro adjustment assembly. This is very important, keep it in mind. Now pay attention to this part. When you insert the material through the printheads the second time, make sure that this material passes over the top of the rod and that you adjust the side guides as well. Adjusting side guides is very important because it keeps the material from shifting to the sides and gives you problems when you're printing. Also, I would like to make emphasis in checking that the material goes through the sensors located inside the printhead assembly. This will save you a lot of trouble. Always make sure that the material goes inside the sensors located inside the printhead assembly, as we are showing you right here in this part of the video. Now it's time to load the foil. Insert the empty foil core on a take-up roller on your printer. Then load the roll of thermal foil and make sure that the printing side is facing the material. Pull the end and pass it through the printhead assembly, and then, using a little piece of scotch tape if it's necessary, stick it to the empty foil core, and keep in mind that it rotates in a counterclockwise direction. After you load the foil, make sure that both the foil and the material are properly aligned. After you start printing, if you need to make any adjustments on the back to front registration printing, you can do it by using the micro adjust assembly located on your printer.